Okay, so with this whole pandemic thing going on, it's just wearing and tearing everything down. I feel like we're all more focused on the negative of the pandemic, and we're just attacking each other. Wear your mask. Use your mask. You can't come in unless you wear your mask. Well, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please subscribe to my YouTube channel down below. And hi to everybody that has. I do appreciate all of you. Are you wearing your mask? Do you wear it properly? Or do you just don't care? There's been plenty of videos that I've seen of people going, wear your mask. Why aren't you wearing your mask? Or the one saying, this is a free country. I don't have to wear a mask. True. It is a free country. What are your thoughts on masks? Do you guys agree or disagree? I wear one for my job, but I also wear one because I get mixed signals. The media gives us mixed signals. If it wasn't for two people in my family, I have a doctor, a nurse, and he counts too because I have three. There's a doctor, there's a nurse, and then there's the two dentists. And they also have to wear masks. So I asked them how they're medical professionals. I asked them how much do they cover and what's the chance of wearing it and how much and what does it do. So my cousin sent me this. He said it does cover and it does help, not to the extent that you would still think, because you still have a 80-60% chance of getting it. It's just on how well you take care of yourself. People forget simple techniques. Hand washing. Just hand washing. People always think, oh, here, sanitize it. Yeah, sanitizer may work to an extent, but we have to practice cleanliness, and a lot of people are complaining, wear your mask. Why aren't you wearing your mask? And it has everybody going around like this. Wear your mask. Well, why are we all fighting for this pandemic when we should all be united? Because I was watching this meme that somebody posted, and it literally shows a picture of the mask, and it says, everyone's going through it. We all have the same flag right now. Very true. Very, very true. So, with that said, my videos of last week were learning how to speak. And I get a lot of my information from here. So, let me show you guys. I was just reading something in Jeremiah. And, let me get it. Ooh, I just left Jeremiah on accident. I always do that. Find the page, and then I lose it. Okay, oops, but I wash my hands. But I touched my phone. Then I touched the Bible. Oh my God. Give me 1 second, guys. 1 second. Looking for something and you can't find it, it just drives you nuts. And 13 years later, she's still looking for it. Would you hurry up and get on with it? Daniel, CQ. Haha. I found it. Give me 1 second. Okay. So in Jeremiah, there is Jeremiah chapter 1. It is, God says, behold, I have put my words in your mouth. So, don't be afraid, he tells them, but I have put the words in your mouth. If you ask, he can teach you. That's why I read the Bible, because I feel like this is teaching me how the people believe in the universe. The Bible teaches me how to be more humble and more grateful, and he teaches me how to put words in my mouth. He speaks out of me. It's not me who's talking, it's him. And sometimes I can just speak and people are like, you sound intelligent right now. And normally I'm not a very bright, intelligent person, but I'm not dumb either. But what I mean, sometimes I make sense. Can you believe that? I actually make sense. Because sometimes I feel like I'm just talking and babbling and people are like, are you really listening? Are you really, really listening? Or are you... That's how sometimes we're... That's how I feel like the world is really acting. We're just... We're just too busy. Like the other day, I'm going to give you guys a true story, testimony. Because me and my son, dad, are separated, but we're still talking. We co-parent so amazingly. I love him to death. He is still a big part of my son's life. He comes and picks him up. He does his father routines. He makes sure he eats well. He's always like, okay, how's he eating? And he noticed the other day that he was just eating his fries. And he wasn't eating his hamburger. And he was like, well, now he's making him eat vegetables. And he knows that my son is autistic. And sometimes some kids with autistic, you can't force them to eat certain things. But my son used to eat vegetables all the time when he was younger. It's just all of a sudden one day, one of his cousins said, vegetables. He started doing it too. So my husband's like, nope. He made him eat today tacos with some onions and some cilantro. Because we both went to go shopping. I met him at the Home Outlets and he went with his mother. And I met them there. And I took my son, and we went, and we waited for them, and we seen them, and he got us some food, and we went to go eat Mexican food, and he got him tacos, and he says, no, you're getting tacos with everything, onions, lettuce, and tomato, and I was like, no tomatoes, but you know what I mean. I don't know why I said tomatoes. Anyways, so he ate it, and he didn't complain. Normally, he's like, oh, onions. I know the little guy doesn't like onions, but man, it's just like he makes his faces and his dad's like, you are going to eat it. Now, I feel like that's exactly how we're acting. We're throwing a tantrum in this world. So we co-parent so well because I've been doing my prayers. I fasted, I did my prayers, I got on my knees, I did whatever I had to do. If God is willing, He will allow it. Now, my son's dad, little backstory, he wasn't doing too well. You know, he was into a lot of bad things. Just leave it at that. And we had to move away from that. And it took that for him to get better. Now, I felt like me getting on my knees every single day, praying for him and forgiveness. I forgave him. And that's something I had to do for me in order for the universe to help me, or God to help me grow as a person. Because, you know, how can you ask for your own forgiveness and for blessings over you when you're still bitter in your heart and you still hold a grudge towards that person who did damage to you? Now, that's why I say learning how to speak is very important, because you speak words of fruits of labor that will let the universe know. And when you feel those words, then you'll know. So I've been doing a lot of meditation. And I've been feeling pumped, exercised, and happy. And I found this song that because one of my favorite groups, Chino and Nacho, got back together. They're not really a group. It's just like two people singing. And they sang this song that is so perfect. And it's called Retro. And what it's saying is like, how do two people get together and they're so different and they still love each other with real good love? Now that's how me and my son's dad is. We're not together, we're separated, but we co-parent with true love. He has more respect for me and I have more respect for him now. And we don't trash each other. I'm always giving him compliments and always speaking over him. And we pray over each other now, and it's just a beautiful thing. Now, it's not perfect, but it's not the way it used to be. Now, I know this. I did a little thing on my last video to see if anybody else caught it. I said something that I should have never said. And I said a word that I should have never said on my last video. So if you guys comment what that was, if you guys see my last video, let me know and see, to show you guys what I said. I wasn't trying to say it because that's not what I meant. And that's not how I felt. I was trying to see if you guys caught it. See, I'm not supposed to be speaking that way. And I know that. So I did that as a test to see. Now, God does give you the words to say, and if you allow it. But when you feel those words, you just start to feel that joy. And don't let nobody steal your thunder and your joy. So anyways, that song says that, how can two people differently love each other when they're so different? And he says, for instance, you want to watch a romantic movie, and I want to watch action. You want to order a salad, and I want to order combo 2. And then he says, we're like water and oil. We can't blend. We don't mix well together like that. And then he says, well, you like to, do this. I like to do this. But we still love each other. And we can care less what the world thinks or people think. And then it shows them how different. And I love that. Because that is exactly how I felt about my son's father. And I still do. And he does the same way. We're just, he's working on himself, and I'm working on myself. And we're working together on trying to build a better relationship for our son. And sometimes how we speak about our significant others or anybody around us. For instance, if you're constantly with that person saying, I hate my job, I don't like what I do, I just work because I have to, you're going to create more of that. And I've noticed that I quit doing that a long time ago. And I always say, sorry, my leg fell asleep. I always say, I love my job. I'm grateful to God. Because God says in the Bible, whatever you do it in remembrance of me. And do it for the glory and for my honor. And I do that. I always say, thank you, Jesus, for letting me get to work. And for letting me work and allow to work for you. Which is true. It works every time for me. And I've been getting, so far I've gotten 9 compliments from my store manager. Now, this is not a fake. My store manager doesn't give out compliments. Anybody who knows our store manager, I won't mention his name, but anybody who knows him, he's not serious. He tries to be funny, but he's not funny. But he's more like, hi, how are you? How's it going? He seems fake, even though he may not be fake. That's just how he perceives to be. And a lot of people see him that way. I don't see him that way anymore. I stopped looking at him that way. And so I started focusing on loving myself, loving my job, and loving what I do. And in one day, I got 9 compliments. I'll tell you the first one. First one is he came up to me the other day and he said, well, not in the same day. Sorry, I shouldn't say that because I'll be lying. It's all in the week worth. Okay. First day, I went to work. He stopped me in the middle of the aisle. I thought I was in trouble. He says, I need to talk to you. And he said it with a firm voice, and I was like, automatically my heart sank, and I was like, oh my God. And then I remembered the secret, and I was like, no, you can't think that way. You can't think negative. So I said, okay, what do you need to talk to me about? And he pulled me aside. He said, come step aside. So we stepped aside, and he goes, you want some candy? And then he goes, here, have a payday. And I was like, okay. He's all, you earned it. And he goes, I just wanted to say thank you. And I was like, for what? He's all, thank you for coming to work every day. And every time we pull you, you never complain. He's all, we make you do everything and anything in this store. He goes, and not once have you complained. And he goes, and I really appreciate that. And then he's all, I think that you're an amazing worker. You're a great worker. I love your attitude. And I love how you don't say no. And he goes, most people, like my friend over here in this department would whine. That ain't my job. That's not what. You don't do that. And then he asked me why. And I said, 2. One question I said, I have one answer for you. Why do I come? What is the reason why I come here? He goes, I don't know. Maybe because you need the job? And I was like, no. Because I need to work. I come to work to work. So if you need me to go anywhere, That's where I'm going to go. Because my job title is not only apparel, it's work. And I view it as, you need me there, I'm there. You need me here, I'm there. And he was like, wow. He was like, okay. So then I left. Went to lunch, because that's where I was going. And I didn't tell a soul. I was just really happy. Somebody heard it though. And my assistant manager was like, what were you and him talking about? And I said, oh, he was just telling me thank you and that's it. She's like, okay. She's like, yeah, he told me to tell you thank you and I appreciate it too. And I was like, okay. So she gave me a compliment. Usually she doesn't really, she's very hard to like because she is very strict and she is not very, she only likes who she likes. That's just the type of person she is. We're all humans, and we all make those mistakes, you know? So I speak over them. I speak over my job. And then second, so she gives me a compliment, so that's 2. Then I go back, and I'm clocking out, and my assistant manager that same day comes back to me and goes, wait. Do you work this weekend? And I said, yes, I work Saturday. And he goes, awesome. And he gave me a bump and he goes, you know what? I need people that come to work and that are good employees. I need good people like you. He goes, I'm glad you're going to be here. I just wanted to ask you, because I've been asking everybody and I've been telling people that I don't want to come in. He goes, not to come in, but to come. But I want to make sure that I have my good employees working for me. I was like, okay, thank you. I said, I appreciate that. And then, my third is that he says that I took criticism very well. Because we had our district managers, and then we had our market managers, and then we had our other district managers, because we're inventory season. Inventories is Thursday. And they came and did a big walk, and there's a manager, big boss, that he's per se in charge of the safety, like of all people of that are in charge of making sure that you're being saved and well taken care of. If you come to my store and steal, those are the type of people that are going to get you out of my store. He's in charge of AP and all those type of people. And he asked me a bunch of questions that I have to ask because I happen to be there where I was going to be at a spot that I had to ask them a bunch of questions for health screening because we got to make sure that nobody is coming in to our store sick, contaminating other associates. So if you have a fever, my job that day for that while was to check to make sure that nobody had a fever and that nobody was coughing and call a manager if something was wrong and blah blah. And I had to ask all these questions and that I'm not allowed to talk about, and I literally failed the test. Not all of it, just a few. He was like, she stayed calm, cool, and collective. She admitted it to her mistakes, which I did. And I didn't know that my store manager was watching a video. And he told me that he told him he needs to stop being a bull and he needs to lower it down quite a bit. That's my second compliment I got. Is that he comes off as, he says, I want to apologize because he came off as a bully, kind of what he's saying. And I asked him to tone it down just a bit. And he says, yes. He said, because in reality, you did great. He goes, I understand what he was talking about, but he wasn't giving you that chance because he just kept being too aggressive to the point to where he was being a bully instead of being the right type of aggressive. He was just being more of a bully. And I asked him to tone it down because we watched it. It was like, oh, awesome. That's my third compliment he gave me. Then he starts telling me that I'm doing a fantastic job with my area that I'm doing. He's like, wow, you're doing a fantastic job. He's like, I can tell where you've been, where you left off. I love it. And then he went and checked my work and he came back to me and he's all, thank you. You just saved their asses. He's all, you just saved their butts from a long day's work. So they'll be able to do great on Sunday because the DMs have to work Sunday to catch up. He goes, you just caught them up by a whole hour's worth. So now they don't have to do so much counting. You just caught them up in a lot of counting. Because that's what I was doing. I was counting boxes, opening merchandise, counting what was in the merchandise, putting labels and everything, making sure that everything was counted for and everything was there. It's tedious work. It gave me a headache, but I had to do it. And I actually was surprised of how fast I was actually doing it. So then he gave me another compliment saying that my area was neat, clean, and friendly. And he gave that to the example to the people that work second shift, which is when they come in at 2 o'clock. 2 to 1 o'clock. They're called second shift. And he goes, you see her area? You see how well and neat and kept and clean she has it? She has her mess right there. But it's all in a bag. It's all trashed, ready to go. She doesn't have this box over there, that box over there, this box over there. She works fast, clean, and friendly. That's what they want. And I was like, well, you don't have to give me more compliments. And then I started realizing I've been getting a lot of compliments from my store manager. He's been noticing a lot. And I've never noticed that before because he never gave me that before. Ever since I started doing this whole manifestation, trying to better myself, giving God all the glory, because we always give him the glory, we do it for him. But sometimes we get blessed with blessings, and those were, to me, were my blessings, in my own way, I guess. And I was just like, wow, like, yes, I'm doing this right. Sometimes when we don't know how to speak, because here's the thing, and I see it every day at my work, I hear people constantly, man, this mother blah blah blah, and this, it's always the same kind of negative atmosphere. And ever since I've been doing that, I don't pay attention to it. I'm always in my zone. I'm happy. I'm more excited, more energetic. I don't know why I'm so, like, happy. Like, I can feel it generate to the core. And I'm just like, oh, wow. Because I've been practicing meditation. I've been practicing that real joy. And I've been manifesting, more subscribers to my channel. People that like what I talk about. Or maybe want to go on the same journey with me. And they can learn with me. I don't know. But God has a purpose. And God has a plan for you and me or anybody. So let me know if you guys have any stories like that you guys want to share. I would really appreciate it. So comment below. Let me hear your guys' stories, your thoughts. Don't forget again to subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much to all of you that have subscribed. I really do love you guys. You guys are amazing. Thank you. They really love me.